Hi guys, it's Nat here. Hope you're doing well. I'm on for Tag Tuesday, which is an open collaboration hosted by Charette Turquoise Dreaming. I will put her link down below. So it's where you can make tags of any kind using whatever you like. So I find a Tag Tuesday good kick up the butt to make some tags. So haven't done it for the last few weeks because I've been busy and stuff, but thought I'll get on and do it this week, and it gets me using some of my stuff. So heading up to my house inspection recently, I had to harvest in a hurry a whole lot of books. So I was left, I've got boxes, and I mean literally 3 or 4 boxes chock-a-block full of book pages with interesting bits and pieces on that I wanted to keep. So I sat down last night and I started sorting them into themes and putting them in my files. And along the way, I come across these beautiful little botanical pictures. They're really sweet. So they are a perfect size for some little tags. So I thought I would try and make some little tags with those today. So what I'm going to do is cut out the picture, and I'll probably cut out the name of the plant as well in case I want to put that on somewhere. So rather than you having to watch me cut, which isn't my favourite thing to do at the moment, I will go off camera and get that done, and then come back and get into putting it all together with you. So I've got together a few bits and pieces to use with my little plants. They look awesome cut out. So I've cut out the name, although the name they put on there, they did have the scientific name, and sometimes it's a name, but otherwise it's got these names that I'm not sure are very common for them, but I'm going to use them anyway because they're in capitals and I liked them. For instance, this one's red parasite. Now I'm sure that's not one of the proper names for the plant, but that's what it's having on it, which isn't very nice, but anyway. Okay, so for the base of my tags, I found some book covers. They're just glossy on one side and plain on the back. I wanted them sort of plainish on the back because I'm going to use some pad paper, I think. I want to use this. I found this in the second-hand shop to line the backs of the tags. And sometimes the pad paper is quite thin, and so if you have, so you can see through a bit. So I thought I'd have it plain for that. And then I've got this big page from Art Book, which is semi-glossy, but oh well, doesn't bother me. I like the patina, the cream colour of it. So I think I'm going to use that as a base for my tags. So the first thing I will do is cover my cardboard in that on one side and this on the other. And then I also grabbed out some paper, just little bits of paper, which I think will be nice with my botanicals. I think this is from the lovely Pam at Honeybee Crafting. I bought a whole lot of stamps off of her and dies, and she used this in the packets to keep them sturdy. So thanks, Pam, because I've organised mine and put white cardstock in to back them. I can now use that. And I have got most of this is your Tim Holtz Field Notes stamps that I've cut out, and a few of my other personal stamps that I have here as well. So I wouldn't mind using some of those up. I grabbed out some new washi. I think I got this from Kmart, and I really love. It looks like it's Australian native plants and that, and it's got cockies as well. I may use some of that because I like the colours. So far that's what I've got planned. Other than that, no idea. So this side we want writing paper. I might get away with just using one piece, and we might not. No, we won't. So I'll grab 2 pieces of that. So I hope everyone's doing well. I know there's a lot of coughs and colds going around at the moment. So I hope you're trying to avoid them. I certainly am. All right, now that just about fits, so we'll stick that. Now, debating. I'm not sure if I'm going to sew around these tags, so I think I will use my Helmer's glue, just because I trust it. Just turn that over, get some glue onto this, and then we'll flip it over and stick it on. So I might just put a glue mat underneath. Been busy today, been out in the garden just for a little bit the last 2 days. I planted broad beans yesterday, and today I thought I'd plant lettuce. I was joking to my son that I should fill my whole backyard up with lettuce and sell it to KFC or Hungry Jack's, or whichever it is that's running out of lettuce and having to replace it with cabbage. Although I assume they're talking about iceberg lettuce, and they don't grow so well in the winter here, so it's not such a good idea. But yes, the cost of veggies and fresh stuff at the moment is so high that I thought it's a good time to really focus on getting the veggie patch going nicely. All right, that should work. Flip this over onto there. Glue bomb off. I took a photo of beautiful Willy Wagtail that come down to see me. I've told the story a few times of one that used to come and visit and ended up dying in my backyard. I was devastated. Well, it's a couple of years later now, and I wonder if it's his son or something, but he's started coming down and he's not too scared of me, so I was able to get out and take a few photos of him today, which was lovely. Beautiful birds. That almost fits all right. Yeah, I think we might end up doing that because we'll have to cut this piece down anyway. Doesn't matter, I suppose, if the lines are a bit all over the place. I'll just move this out of the way. Might as well use the top. So again, we want this side. So it's nice to have a bit of a break from the rain, and it's not quite as cold, which is great. So I was able to get just a little bit of poisoning done. I do have pavers out the back, and the weeds are growing a lot in between them, so I must start boiling the kettle and tipping that on them while they're little. Might be a better way to go. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now I'm just debating whether we leave it like this. Oh, it's probably best if I cut them out first and then put the book page on, or else I won't be able to see where I'm cutting. So just move that out of the way. Grab my scissors. This down so I know where we need our book page to go. Got the heater on, keeping me warm, so you might be able to hear a bit of a noise in the background. Otherwise, it's lovely and quiet in the craft room. Haven't been spending enough time in here lately, and I've missed that. It's good to get back to it. Okay, so that's the back of the tags done. Now, I know there's probably some words on here that I don't want to show, so let's just hope they don't show. But beautiful big pages. I think I'm going to keep some of these. Depends how brittle they are, but they'll probably be nice in an oversized journal. Okay, so we've got a whole lot there, which fits pretty good. I'm just debating which way we're going to cut our tags out of this, because I don't want to make them huge, so I'm thinking we might get 4 or 6 out of this. So really I've put this paper the wrong way too if I cut it that way, so maybe we'll have to cut it this way. And we can still do little ones. We might even be able to get 8 out of that if we do little ones. Alright, let's just do it. And I'll need the other page for this one. Some glue there, I'm just trying to rub off a bit. It'd be much easier just to paint some wet glue on, but then you get all your wrinkles, so I prefer to use this, my Helmers, for this sort of thing. Put it down like that. Okay, so I'll let that dry a little bit. I'll cut out the other one. Keep that, that'll be beautiful for some collaging, or even some little journaling spots because it's plain. So that will be going in my scrap bin. So we just had takeaway for tea. My son cooks 5 nights a week, but he's busy doing something on some games, so I think he was keen not to cook tonight, so we got fish and chips for us for tea, which was lovely. I'm so over cooking these days. I think after bringing up the 2 kids and having to cook and clean all the time and that, now that they're sort of adults, I just want to do as little as possible of it. Okay, so that's the bases done. So now I've got to figure out cutting our tags. So I do have got a couple of mini guillotine things at once. Not quite big enough for that, which is a shame because I tend to cut crooked with this other one, but I'm determined to get better. Now, what I am thinking is I'm debating whether I want to... Will that bother me? Probably will. Thinking about cutting these blank bits off for starters, because I want all text. Lift that up properly. I need practice with these things, I tell you. Okay, and the same with this one. Now, we've got some quite small little pictures here, and the tags could be half this size, so let's do that. So half looks like about... Oh, that'll do. Still big enough. And now, how many across will we do? We could probably get 4 across. We cut it there. We have some little mini tags. Okay, so there's some little tiny tags. I can do the corners afterwards if I desire. And then with this one, probably looking at, again, we can get the 4 across. So let's cut it down at the halfway-ish mark. And then we'll cut these at around there as well. Doesn't matter if they're not even specifically. It's close enough. And then we try and do them around halfway again. That's pretty good. Now we'll figure out which pictures are going to go on which. I've probably got too many backgrounds, but they can be put away for some other tags in the future. So we'll get these little ones out first. And we've got our littler pictures. Now I'm debating whether I want to put them on the bigger ones so there is a bit more room, which I might end up doing, and keep the smaller backgrounds. I think it depends. Might put them on the longer ones and just see how we go, because I do want to put stuff behind them as well. And we do have a fair few of these. I think we might just have enough. Can always make some more. Some of the pictures are a bit longer than others, so I was going to put the smaller ones on the smaller tags. They're only just going to fit on these nicely. Could mix it up a bit as well. I definitely need the longer ones on these longer tags. That's a longer one. I've got this. Here's a longer one. Now that's smaller. I'll use some of these as well. And so that's all the pictures we've got ready, other than this one, which is too big for any of those tags, so I'll have to make a bigger tag with that one. So move these out of the way. We do have one long one left if I decide the little one's not going to fit on one of these. And I'm still debating whether I round the top corners or cut them to a tag shape or what. I'm not sure. They could just stay as they are. So that is a start. Next is, do we ink or not? So we have our coloured papers. Now we've got a couple here that are yellow plants. So I think we'll have a look at them first. And I have this, which I was going to put as a background, which still looks really cool, so I might do that. So even like that would go okay. I just don't want to lose their little labels. Now inking, do I or do I not? I do have my vintage photo here. Can ink one and see what we think anyway. Definitely looks nice on the book page, a bit of ink. So I've got that upside down, not that it matters, but we will stick it onto this. out. Might need to cut just a tad more off of those edges. And take a little bit off the top and bottom edges. Fits better. Beautiful. All right, now put a little label there. So that's the little one. We'll do the other big one first. Might be able to just get a narrow bit of the yellow if we stick that there, so that's all right. And you want a little hint of the yellow peeking through anyway. Go there. Now that one's going to fit good. This one could do with just a little bit more of the yellow cut on this side. Fits a bit better. And then this one definitely needs some off because that is quite narrow. Is this one better? Yeah. So I'll just swap that with that because that tag's a bit thicker. All right, now I will, before I forget, ink around the tags. Now I've got to figure out what we're going to do with the name. I think we should use it because it just adds something else to it of interest. So therefore they will need some ink. And then we probably want to line them, and I'm just debating, it might be nice to line them with what I just threw out. We only have a tiny bit of this though. Whether it'll do all three, I don't know. But we only need a tiny little thin bit. Yeah, it would do all three. So let's stick that on there. Just want to find my tweezers. I think I'm going to need them. And smart glitter glue in here. I just don't know if it's going to come out. Oh, that's better. There's some big blob of something in there. And it wasn't glue. So, no idea how that happened. Now, what I really should get is one of these. And I'll stick this on. Like that. I was going to do all three and then cut, but then I'll forget which one pertains to which plant, so better chop it out first. Well, that looks much better. Okay, so we'll do this one. I have to go out afterwards and sort more book pages. I had an overflowing box and I sat down for hours last night and I just managed to get it even to the top full of book pages. So it caused so much work for myself. It's fine trying to get this on so you can see some of the yellow. I think that'll do. Okay, so that's looking good. So now I've got to decide. Well, I've got to do the other ones too, don't I? But we've got the yellow ones ready. What I might do is do the yellow ones and then go do the green ones off camera, because it's the same process anyway. Then I can show you the finished project afterwards. Now, I'm not sure whether any of these are going to fit or do any good. Although I do like this, the colour of it. So I'm just going to rip it down. Then we've got washies. I was looking at that one. So those three might look alright. But if I was to use them, they would go underneath. One off. I've got some good stick on them. I don't want to stick it properly either, because I want to have a look and I don't want to take my book page off. So like that. So you won't see a lot of the washi, and I don't think that adds anything. Oh look, it's going to take my book page off. But that's alright. Alright. The other thing would be just to rip a little bit. Let's have a look. How much did we ruin it? Not too much, so that's alright. Don't know whether to ink around this or not. Let's have a look. Alright, well I'm going to stick my little titles on anyway. It's something I can do. Now, we didn't really have a good look at what else we have in here either, because we have all sorts. We've got like stamps, but we don't want them to take over. Got little things like that. And we do have other washies. Just want to have a look at this one. Oops, didn't mean to. Jeez, it's very sticky. I didn't mean for it to stick to my finger and pull off like that. Can you ink this stuff? Yep. I'm just going to put some of this on. It doesn't add anything, but it's not really taking away. Thought you might be able to see that yellow bit there, but all right, I'm going to leave it on because if I try and rip it off, it's just going to break anyway. So I might just rip it off there. It will be all right. I'm not a very experienced washi tape user, but I'm determined to get there. So you don't even really notice it, so that's all right. Okay, so I found a bit of calico in my scrap bin, and I have cut a bit of that off to use as a tab. I think that will look good. Now I'm just going to grunge up the edges with a bit of ink because it is quite clean. Do. And now we want to do our placement. Still debating whether to put this underneath or on top. Might put it on top. So we'll stick our picture down. Nice, we'll just keep using this. Put a little stamp on. Now for my tab, I was thinking of just using my tiny attacher for this, so we'll see how it looks. Don't know if I've quite got it back there. Actually, if I had any sense, I'd glue it first, wouldn't I? We could even just glue it and leave it. Let's have a look. Definitely need something to hold it on a bit. Shift it over a little bit. It's a bit better. Now let's have a look. That looks pretty sweet. So, and then I'll probably just go around these back edges with a bit of ink as well. So that's one of our little tags. Quite like that, it's cute. So now I've got this one, and use some more of this because we've pulled off a bit there. I mean, I could cover it a bit, but what I might do is just rip one of the flowers out. Just put that there, like that. And then we've got these big, and then we've got these little number stamps from my little vintage number stamper. So I prefer the green. Oh, I don't mind that actually. So again, we'll stick our picture on. And then we'll put that just up over the corner there. So these are really simple tags. Just sort of trying to get back into the swing of crafting, because I haven't been doing a lot of it. Then we want a little tab. Crooked. Not very good at applying my staples in the middle, but that's all right. So that's those two. They're really sweet actually. I quite like those. So we'll do this last yellow one and then I will go off camera and do the green ones. And then come back and have a look at them all. Okay, so for this one, I am liking my little bit of wattle on these. Sort of a waste to run a whole bit down there when you're not going to see the bulk of it anyway, isn't it? So might as well just pull out a little bit. Put that there. And then we should use my little that's my last green one. I'll have to do a whole lot more stamping of these because I really like having them hanging around. Great for collaging and that. That will do. So we'll get our picture down. Yep, glue my hand. And then get a little stamp on. Bit of calico. That one's a bit better in the centre. And then, before I forget, it's just a case of going around the back of these. So I've finished doing all my little tags. And I'll put my tabs on and I use my tiny attacher. So they're the 3 that you saw me do with the yellow background papers. And then I did all of these ones with the green background paper. I ended up using washi, I think, in all of these up the top and the bottom. And I just ripped it down a bit. And I used just different bits and pieces of my smaller stamps that I already had stamped. So I really like the way they've turned out. Oh, got the dropsies. I don't really like that one. That's the one that they've called Red Parasite. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. It's not a very pretty name. I think it's not the louse wart, but it's, I don't know, something like that. Maybe that's why it's called Red Parasite. So, and the Lady Orchid. So I really love those. You know, it's a lot of recycled goodies used for that project. It was great to find some beautiful pictures and just do something with them. Must do more of that. So they've turned out really cool, and I've got a whole heap of botanical little tags now to put in some future journals. And I like the backing. It's a little different with the yellow paper. And the yellow paper I picked up at the op shop as well, so it's a great way to reuse that. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you again soon. Bye.